Boom. Gen X. Are we adult yet?
I've got no. Are you getting?
I got it.
I don't have any.
You don't have no headphone?
No, I can hear you. I can't hear the theme song.
I haven't played it yet.
That explains that, man.
Gen X. Are we adult yet? Did kids get softer when they stopped fighting at 3:00? There it is.
Hola, I'm Jason.
Bienvenidos al podcast.
We are Gen X, and welcome to our podcast.
I'm going to give a shout out to all of our listeners out there, our Gen X family, the Gen Xicans, and everybody in between. Thank you guys for spending your time with us. Much love to our audio-only listeners. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to call them, but we have a strong fan base of folks who just listen to our audio podcast. I guess podcasts are just audio, and we have video. Video podcast, audio podcast.
Audio-only listeners. That's always how we referred to them.
I don't know the other words, right?
Yeah, there's got to be a lingo.
Blind following.
So much love to our audio-only listeners. Easy for me to say. We are strong and growing. We love you. A big shout out to our Monday crew. Shout out to Chris McDurbs. Shut up. What up, fellas? How you doing, Chris, man? Much love to you, brother. And everybody who spends your time with us. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. So, to my left is my brother, Austin. Austin, how you doing?
Good, man.
All right. We got Greg Remote chiming in.
Remote?
Somewhere out there in good rural California. Appreciate that.
LaGrange.
If you know, LaGrange. There's
or it's LaGrange. Is this where grunge music is from?
The California version? No, this is you're out in the hot part of California.
It's kind of hot. It's like kind of like a desert with lots of oak trees.
Hardcore bands and rappers is what I remember of that area, dude.
How. Meet me after school was a universal way of saying, I call you out. I want to fight you. We're fighting after school today. Meet me after school. Well, fuck, meet me after school then. That was a threat. Put up or shut up. Meet me after school. All right then. As soon as he said, all right then, you were fighting. That was it. That's all it took. That's all it took, man. And it was going to be handled that day. No social media. Calendar. No likes. No comments. Just 75 kids following you and that other kid off campus into the nearest alley or the park, completely blowing up the spot when 100 kids follow you, because that's what would happen. Everybody knew you guys were going to fight. They would follow you.
Walking,
And the idea was that we had to fight off school grounds where we would get in more trouble or less trouble versus being, or whatever the idea was, right? And we would go and fight. You had to fight.
The cops would take longer to get there than the school administrators or teachers.
When you had a problem with somebody, you saw them at school. Most of the time we saw them in school, and we didn't have too much interscholastic, contact. We did, because we did play them in sports, and we did transfer schools, but other places, like we had arcades. We see kids from other schools from arcades. We see them at the mall, football games, other social places in town, right? So, but when we had conflict, it was handled that day. So what we're going to talk about today is, are kids getting soft because they no longer fight at 3:00? I know kids are still fighting today, but since video games left the arcade and no longer needed quarters, and consoles went indoors, and then consoles and the internet met each other, all of a sudden, now I can play with kids not only from my school, but from other schools across town, in other towns, in other states, and other countries.
So they say, meet me on Call of Duty, and they go shoot each other?
Yes.
And then they now?
So, the ultimate, honestly, you want to jump to the end? Yeah.
Call of Duty.
The ultimate fighting online is swatting, is calling in like a bomb threat, or calling in some kind of, hostage situation to your ops house.
That's freaking gnarly, bro.
I have heard that happens.
Swatting. Yeah, they send the SWAT team to your fucking house.
Yeah, it's very sketchy, dude.
People have been
you
killed
think they
over
would make
swatting.
that illegal?
It's probably against the law. It's probably against the law. All right. So tonight, growing up Gen X, disagreements had a physical location. It was somewhere after school. We fought like way out in the field. At Sequoia School, there was a whole bunch of field around our house. There was a bunch of alleys and there was a bunch of parks and a bunch of places we could fight. But we would mostly, a lot of times they'd fight way out in the field, like after school, walking from the school to the corner of the field, there was a gate so you could get out, right? And so walking towards that gate way out the back, they would just, again, 100 kids all around them waiting for the fight to start, talking shit the whole way, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, the first swing and off fighting they go. Right.
And then yelling and screaming and hollering by 100 people.
Yes, everybody, yeah, come on, and cheering them on, and then quick to break it up. As soon as the gentleman part of the fight was over, it got broke up. All right, now he's had enough. Right, or I've had enough bloody nose. The first time somebody got a bloody nose, really, or he got knocked down, or there was an obvious winner, like stay down, just stay down. They would just jump in.
Advantage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The regulators.
Right. Oh, we go Donnie. We got Cindy. We got Chucky's little sister. Gate is gone. Oh, the corner of Sequoia School. The gate is gone. Well, they moved the front of the school to the back of the school. The back of the school when we were there. They completely flipped it over. So I bet, everything else has changed or something. I don't know. The whole front they had the big auditorium and the cafeteria, whatever up front. And anywho, shout out. Don says, "What up, Austin?
What up, Don?
Donnie Laughlin.
Laughlin.
He's a ripping kid too." So, I have this video. This is a lot what it was like for us growing up.
I'm Jerry Mitchell. I'm with the school paper, the Titan. I know this is a little weird, me asking who you are standing side by side in front of the urinals.
If you're a fag.
Oh, God. Me? Oh, no way. What I'm trying to find out is, you are Buddy Revell, right?
You a narc?
No, I'm with the school paper.
What do you want, man? I just got to this school.
I don't want anything. That is all. All I want to do is talk to you, see? See, they told me to write this stupid little piece about you because you're the new kid on campus.
You're gonna do a stupid little piece on me. Why would I want to look stupid?
No. You're not going to look stupid. Not at all. And incidentally, just so you know, I don't care if you do all kinds of dope and shit. I'm not anybody's narc, you know? Not that I think that you do dope or anything like that. I mean...
Oh, Facebook just kicked us off, it looks
Listen,
like.
why don't we forget this whole
shit.
thing and pretend this never happened?
Protected content, dude.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, YouTubers. We just lost Facebook. Buddy Revell. All right, we're going to ride this out. We're just going to ride this out. We're in. We're committed.
We're committed.
And here's the good part anyway.
We'll only
We're
ban us
gonna
for 5
forget
minutes.
this happened. I want you to understand something, Jerry.
Jerry.
I don't like it when people know about me. In fact, I don't like it when anybody knows about me. So you can take that newspaper of yours and wipe off your dick with it. You made me mad, Jerry.
Here it is.
Now I'm gonna have to do something to work it off.
Work it off.
You and me, we're gonna have a fight today after school. 3 o'clock in the parking lot. You try and run, I'm gonna track you down. You go to a teacher, it's only gonna get worse. You sneak home, I'm gonna be under your bed. You and me. 3 o'clock.
It's on
We
freaking
lost
internet,
Facebook.
dude. Anybody can watch that. It's so stupid that they do that.
Can you now go back to Facebook?
Oh, I mean, they might let us back on in a few minutes. Sorry, Facebook. Anyways,
I
YouTubers,
think
hey,
last time
thank you
they
guys.
didn't.
Appreciate it.
What's up, YouTube crowd?
So, anyways, that's what it was like. That kid was scared shitless, right? Because
Because a
For the rest of
psychopath
the day.
told him.
that's how it was and that's how it went, right? So the point I'm getting at is the whole F around and find out, the whole run your mouth, someone's going to check you for it, the whole just instant consequences were a very well-known thing. So the question is, and the title is, you know, we talk about these other generations being soft. We talk about them having like a poor work ethic. We talk about them having all these other undesirable qualities, right? We talk shit about them. We do. 100%, right?
Yep.
Are the kids softer now that this isn't really happening? I'm not saying this isn't happening at school anymore because I'm sure this is, but I think the majority of conflict is happening online now. And the majority of their friend circle and where they're interacting the most is now with the headset. So have these kids lost their like
Toughness.
coping skills? Well, their toughness, their problem solving skills, their
Edge.
conflict resolution skills.
Yeah.
Have they lost their, you know what I mean, ability to communicate? Like now they're like kind of reverting back to just yelling and screaming on a microphone. And what happens when they crash out in real life?
No, you
see
can
those
just say you're
videos?
having
Yeah, I
a
was
panic
gonna
attack.
say, you've
and
seen
you
those
can go home from
videos.
school.
They get fucking knocked out.
They get fucked up. man.
They get fucking knocked out. What was that, Greg?
I forgot. I started reading comments and I forgot what I said. I don't know.
Did we
I
have
was
a
thinking,
scary
that's,
bully?
did we have a scary bully? I was trying to think. Not really bullies, but there were guys that were scary that you didn't want to make them mad, or you were glad they were on your side.
Oh, yeah. Meet me after school was a real thing. For better or worse, the famous 3 o'clock by the bike racks, 3 o'clock in the alley, 3 o'clock after school, after
By the train
school,
tracks.
behind the portables. Yeah, Donnie,
Yeah.
exactly. It's called fuck around and find out. 100%, right? And it happened the same day. There was no scheduling it for the next day. I can't today. I got band practice. I got track. You know,
Right. You would have to go to track beat up.
and let's be clear, most of the time it wasn't some movie style brawl. I mean, I've seen some good fights. There were some fighters.
They were
There's
pretty gay most of the time.
They were pretty gay most of the
Yeah.
time. There were some people who had hands. They could throw hands.
It's true.
They probably
It's
still
true.
got hands today, right? You don't really lose that kind of shit.
There's
right?
a movie like that where the guy gets called out in the movie, and he's that's his strategy. He's like, I just got to last like 3 or 4 seconds, and then everyone's gonna jump in, right? I just got to last like 3 or 4 seconds.
Confused. Yeah, that's in Dazed and Confused.
It doesn't happen. Or
That's all right. You just got to
And then
get
the
in one
herd
good
will
shot.
separate. It's herd mentality. Then they will
Dazed and
separate.
Confused.
Yeah, get in one good shot, play defense. And he did. He poured the beer on the dude's head. The dude turned around. He
did it.
cracked him.
Yeah.
And he looked to his left and right, and nobody
Nah,
jumped.
man, they let him get his ass kicked.
And the guy got
Real
his
bad.
ass kicked.
Real bad.
Well, I mean, you got to learn how to fight, right? Most of the time, it was pushing, it was wrestling, a few punches. Kids don't know how to
Talking,
fight.
yeah.
But big overhand, like telegraphed
haymaker.
punches that let the other guy know
Yeah, the
where to put their
big
hands up at.
swingers from
Yeah.
out
Or
here.
they came in just swinging for the fences, and there was a lot of
just both
hands,
arms
like,
going.
fist
That's what I mean.
slapping.
You see a lot of like that, you know. Like,
Mosh pit. It looks more like a mosh pit than a
Yeah.
fight.
yes. What about Jamie Thomas and Eddie Garcia? Wait,
Is that like a
I don't
classic MMA fight?
remember. I don't remember. What grade was that? What grade were they in, Donnie?
Eddie
What,
Garcia was like a year behind us, I think.
one?
Like 1 year behind us, 2 years behind
Rest
us.
in
I don't
peace,
remember Jamie
Eddie.
Thomas getting in a fight.
Yeah, Jammer. No, he was a good dude. Everybody liked that guy. I kind of remember that fight, sort of. I think.
Finally got to hang out with him at Christmas. He's exactly the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
he hasn't changed one bit.
that's pretty cool. He was a good. He was a good dude. He was super nice. Rest in peace, Eddie and his brother Esky. Word around the campfire is both of them are laid to rest.
Deceased.
Yeah, they're both gone. Oh, and then the fight. Somebody stepped in or somebody quit, right? And most of the time, 99% of the time, the kids were friends the next day.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. That's how it happened for us. The conflict ended. I got to say what I got to say. The other person mouthed off, or I mouthed off. Whatever, whoever was out of line learned their lesson. The universe had a way of making sure the winner won. You know what I mean? The winner, whoever was supposed to win, won. Right? That worked out that way a lot because somebody else would kind of step in. There was a lot of big brothers around.
Yeah, or watchdogs. Guys
There,
that wouldn't
you know,
let
the
someone get bullied.
Right. So the conflict ended. There was no replay. There was no comments. There was no group chat. Nothing. There was a bunch of, jumping around. Kids jumping around. Ooh.
Yeah, there was no video of it.
There was no video of it. Not a single fucking video of
Donnie
of our
remembers
fights.
every single thing. He's got a pornographic memory.
Esky jumped in and then Tej fucked him up.
He remembers so much.
Community Center sophomore year. You know what? I don't remember that. I wonder why those two fought.
Like almond blossom or something.
Community
Sounds like an
Center.
almond blossom.
See,
ball.
that's the spot where everybody. That's where you guys meant to fight, or I don't know. All right. Gen X, we didn't learn that like fighting was our way to solve our problems. We didn't. That wasn't the lesson. The lesson wasn't like, well, if I don't get my way, I'm just going to start punching on you. That's not what we learned. That wasn't the culture behind, meet me at 3:00. The culture and the reasons behind meet me at 3:00 was the way you treat people has consequences. And eventually,
it's like an old cowboy showdown. Like at noon, you got to meet him in the middle of the road at noon, right?
one of you's fucking dying.
Same idea.
And one of you's fucking dying.
Sure.
The shootout at noon? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Think
that's the
about
same
that. You got
idea,
so
though.
mad at somebody?
Well, they would cheat in cards. If you cheated in cards or stole someone's horse or did something silly shit,
Yeah.
then you would have to get in a. You would be the high noon guy. The
Or
same
if you
idea.
were just like famously fast with your gun.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, just get challenged.
that.
Yeah, get
People
challenged.
just show up and ask you to fight,
Let's
but you're not
go.
that fast.
Jamie accused him of taking the stereo out of his car. I remember something. That sounds familiar. Yeah. I think I remember that. Oh, you go, Jamie. Fuck yeah, I get your shit back, homie. Shit. So the lesson for us wasn't you go flexing on people to get your way, right? The lesson was fuck around and find out, and we'll deliver it to you by 3:00 today. Nobody else delivered by 3:00 today back in the day except your ass whooping.
Did you guys have that one guy who went around making it a point to have that fight with every other dude in class?
Not
We had
really.
a kid like that.
No.
And it was like his point. He'd find some beef every 2 days with somebody else.
Some nut
3:30,
flexer.
just,
No, that's
you
who
know.
he was. That's who he was going to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't really
Um,
have a guy like that.
Eventually, he ran into the kid who that was that. You know,
Yeah.
that must have been before he got to me, though. I never had to deal with it, but
You have a meet me at 3:00.
yeah. In 3rd and 4th grade, I had a standing meet me at 3:00 with this kid.
That's perfect. 3rd and 4th.
3rd and 4th grade, we
That's
walked
perfect.
home out of the field together. Right, he went left and I went right. But by the time we got to the road right there, Mulholland, from behind Rapona School, for whatever reason, this whole year it would end in fisticuffs with me and this kid, and he'd go home crying. I pretty much handled it. But then he left for summer break one year and he came back and he's twice as tall as me. Yeah. And he told me straight up, today's going to go different than the last time you saw me. And it was like the first day of school back the next year.
Right.
And I remember being scared because he was bigger than me, even though I handled it the first 80 times that we went through that. You know what I mean? And I remember I was walking home through the field and all of a sudden he pushed me from behind like that. And he turned me around by my shirt and he hauled back to hit me. And I remember closing my eyes and then the punch never came. And then when I opened them, my little brothers, Matt and Josh, one had him around the legs And the other one had jumped up around his neck like that and kind of taken him to the ground. And I remember going over it. Yeah.
By that time, quickly 3-on-1.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Pretty quickly, it went to 3-on-1.
And I remember him getting up all red in the face and crying and calling us MFers and stuff, and then like going home. And then that kid moved away, man. I didn't have to deal with it anymore.
And this started because
I have no idea. We just had a weird standing, like after every day when we would walk home near each other, it would end up us getting into it.
I thought you said his little brother was picking.
No, that
on-
was a different kid.
That was I thought. This
No,
was
there
the
was
same
another
story.
kid. There was
Got it.
another kid, Todd Malaparte. He's a really cool kid. He's a real cool dude. But when we were growing up, him and me would get into it every once in a while because his little brother would fuck with Josh, like hit him in the stomach with a baseball bat one time and stuff like that. And I remember having to tell Todd, like, well, now we have to fight, dude. You know, Todd's like, I am not responsible for Mark. Anyways, that was years ago. I was like 4th or 5th grade, dude. Todd's a really cool guy. Shout out Todd.
Through fighting at 3:00 for having your attitude adjusted for you. The universe had a way of making sure the winner won most of the time, right? Sometimes the bad guy won, right? Sometimes. Here's what we learned. You don't run your mouth unless you mean it. You respect people's boundaries. You know, confidence versus arrogance, right? It's kind of like, you know, watch out for the quiet ones or watch out for the little ones kind of thing, right? When to walk away and how to read someone's kind of just vibe, their mood. You know what I mean? Just kind of, I think we all can do that. Kind of just feel it out for a minute, right? When to walk away, confidence, respect people's boundaries. Don't run your mouth unless you mean it. Open your mouth and, I mean, you said it, here we go. And just like in the movie clip we just got, you know, kicked off Facebook for, you know, if you run, he'll find you. You went to school with the guy. You can't, you're not going to move schools. Your parents it's just not going to happen. He's going to find you, or you're going to take a shit ton of shame and ridicule and embarrassment. Nobody's going to want to play with you. Nobody wants to play with the kid who's actively being
be a bitch, dude.
hunted by the fucking
you
one
can't
guy.
be a bitch, dude. That's a real part of that.
Then you're like against that one guy too. Like if Jeffrey wants to beat up Timmy and Timmy runs and you go be friends with Timmy,
Sure.
now Jeffrey wants to beat both of you up.
Sure.
So you don't play with Timmy. So when the conflicts moved online, that's when the shift happened. I'm not saying there's no more conflict in school. I use that because that was our conflict. That was ours. When it shifted online is when the mouths got bigger and less checking of the mouth. Less checking of the mouth instantly, less fear of checking of the mouth instantly, and less knowledge or culture of, you know, like truly F around and find out, because some kid from Kentucky is not going to show up at your door and beat you up for what you just said to him. They're just not.
Didn't some
And you
guy
gotta-
do that though? He found all the people and he went around and beat them up. Somebody
would
did
be
that.
cool.
Dude.
That would be
No,
cool.
it had.
I've
no,
seen videos of that.
Someone did it. Yeah, he filmed the whole series and put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Not so funny now, is it, Timmy Mulligan?
I don't remember if
Oh.
it was like in video games or comments on a board. It was from somewhere, but dude, he went and found a bunch
He
of
showed
them, and
up,
beat them
yeah.
up in the parking
Doxed
lot,
them
like
and then-
on their way to
yeah.
work, coming out of their job. Yeah, he just found them and beat them up on video, dude. Got to be careful sometimes. You got some guy that's resourceful.
So back in the day, we would hang out. Today or later on, the kids are hanging out online, right? Face-to-face conversations versus comment sections or headset conversations. The
People
person
miles
kind of
away. It's not
miles
like you're
away.
going online with your friends, right? It's not people from your school usually. It's strangers.
So less of the person, more of just like who they are as a player, more of their gamer tag, right? So maybe less respect, less idea of that this is a real person, because, you know, you didn't sit next to him in math class and he was just wouldn't shut up or whatever, and you got pissed and you ran your mouth, and he's like, okay, now we're fighting at 3:00, right? That's real shit. That's a real person. That's that guy. He's got history. He's got his own friend set. He's got his own, place in the school culture and hierarchy. You know what I mean? And that's a real person. That's really going to happen.
Yeah, there's got to be there's a disconnect when you're just shit talking somebody because you're beating them at something online on internet, and there's a spirit of competition that you're supposed to suspend it anyways. And if you don't want them talking, you got to beat them at the game. You know what I mean? So it's a little different than when you're in class and, so-and-so finds out you were hanging out with Jenny last night and Jenny's been as steady for, hey, how come you were hanging out with my girl last night? I don't know.
You got an answer for that shit.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Or even back in the day when if you had to play a multiplayer game, you were sitting next to each other on the couch, and you kind of always had to worry about that dude could throw you a hammer fist.
You might catch a controller in the knee. Was the big one. Just smack you in the knee with the controller.
It was fear of physical violence because of proximity.
And that's one of the things that shifted when, the conflict shifted to online, right? That fear of proximity, warriors. Just keyboard warriors, 100%. Online, we can say shit to someone in another school, another city, another state, another country. We can talk shit internationally now, right? Especially, we have our social medias, and then every game has its own like social media kind of built in with, there's like lobbies where you can text in and talk shit. There's the online experience where, you can go in groups, you can go in gangs, whatever, right? When there's no fear of repercussions and you're not really speaking to a person, you're speaking to this voice with a gamer tag, you get used to kind of a couple of things. You used to be them just to pop off and yell and shit, right? So my question is, if you took that kid who's tough online and took him back to 1985, would he survive? Would he be all right? Would he panic attack?
Yes. 1985 would give him a panic attack.
When they stopped practicing, right? They would run their mouth. They would, and then you know what? Honestly, I think they would see a whole different fucking culture. They see a whole different setup. They probably wouldn't run their mouth. They probably aren't tough in the real world. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, find a safe space. Good luck.
I'm not saying all today's kids, because some of today's kids are my kids, and that's certainly not the case, right? They're but
sure, yeah.
Chucky's little sister, he would find his safe space. So the cool part is, part of our generation still has the expectation of, F around and find out, instant consequences. And I think I know it bothers me, and I know it bothers a lot of folks my age and my generation when we see the softer, gentler parenting. Like, it doesn't have to be a no contact. You don't have to spank your kids. You know what I mean? But the whole, I've seen parents just kind of parent in a way that was just so different than the way I did. And I see the results, and I see how the kid, I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't see the results. I don't see how you can, what's your goal for this kid? How is he supposed to act when, you know what I mean? ABC. I'm not trying to pick out anybody or any parenting style, except for
medicate them when things go sideways.
Or when there's no accountability. Consequences doesn't always mean punishment or hitting them, but it means bringing their actions to their attention and providing a redirect, whatever that needs to look like. Less of that happens when the kids are gaming online, and I'm betting you that's what's making them weaker today. One of the things, right? So, anyways, take a look at how Gen X handles things like failures and arguments and disagreements, and take a look at how, I've seen my kids online and how they handle that stuff, right? They absolutely lose their mind. And it's not like just, as soon as they take their headphones off, they're like, oh my God, that was fun. And they walk away into the real world. No, this is the real world. And then when they come out of here, it's only here temporary. I'm over here until I can get back into my headset, and now I'm plugged in again. Now this is where I operate. This is my life.
Losing at video games though is a very specific visceral response, right? Like when you lose at a video, I don't know if you remember the dog from Duck Hunt, but like when that thing would pop up and laugh at you, you wanted to kill the TV.
Yeah.
And internet brought a real life version of that dog to talk shit to you.
Yeah.
While it was beating your ass at whatever video game you were losing at.
And you have no control over that.
Oh man. So when you take that headphone off, it's because it's either that or smash your laptop, you know?
Right. Oh, maybe Gen X wasn't tougher because we fought. Maybe we were tougher because every disagreement forced us to look another person in the eye.
Sure.
Another human right then and there. I have this story. I was working at my old job, and it was the end of the day, and it was about 5 o'clock. Everything was closed. You know, some of the front office staff were still there. I'm leaving for the day. All the doors are locked. I'm going to walk out. There was a member. She came and asked, "Hey, can I use the bathroom real quick?" I'm like, "We're closed, but yeah, come on in." The bathroom's right by the door, you know, so I let her in. She goes in the bathroom. The door locks. I go in the front office and I'm like, "Hey, so I'm going to go, but there's somebody in the bathroom. Can you make sure that they get out?" And the lady looked right at me and she said, No. You let in, and she told me the lady's name. I can't remember the name. You let her in, and she's going to stay in there forever. She's going to try and stay in there forever. So no, you let her in. You make sure she gets out. And I'm like, ugh, whatever. So I go back over to the door, you know, and I'm just being playfully impatient. You just knock on the door. "Hi, you almost done?" "Yeah, I'm almost done." "Okay, we're closed." "I'm almost done." Okay. So I wait. I probably scroll my phone for a minute. I go back to the front office. I'm like, "Come on, she got to be done here in a minute." I said, "I want to take off." She's like, "Nope, shouldn't open the door." I wouldn't have opened the door for her, not for her. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck. So I go back over to the door a little more. Okay, I'm kind of impatient. I walk back over to the door, and as soon as I knock on that door and I go to say, in a really kind of pompous kind of fucking way, kind of like, "Okay, it's time, blah, blah, blah." And that door flew open, and that chick, that little tiny lady, was right up here right in my face. "F you, F this," screams, curse, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, and she was in me doing this and blah, and just let me have it.
Nice.
It scared the shit out of me, bro. I just kind of backed up, went out the door, and we were outside. The door shuts, and the doors were locked, right? So I'm outside, and I back up, and I kind of she's just walking towards me, just barking, just screaming. I go and beat myself in the other door, and I shut the door, and she's at the door. She's screaming, banging on the windows, yelling through the parking lot, "F you, F this, F blah, blah, blah," screaming, just screaming to where her voice would go, and then break pitch and do that weird, like
No
distortion
voice left,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
peak. You know what I mean? Well, and just, oh my, dude.
Yeah. Did you get to keep all of her stuff?
It was way more. She was way off the. I'm just kidding, but no, the bathroom. I don't know. It wasn't.
I wonder if that's the same lady that I have to deal with who does that at my work.
I don't know.
Is that here in Turlock?
That was Modesto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
I have
you never know.
The same thing to me, dude.
You never know, man.
No joke.
So
Yeah, let him in the bathroom.
no. So the lesson was, one, don't stop and let somebody. Don't stop for someone if you're not going to stop for somebody.
Yeah. Be
Period.
prepared.
Just
Be prepared
period,
to see
right?
it all the way through.
One
for
of the
sure.
things that we learned, one of the, you're talking to folks, and don't ask them how are you unless you are prepared to stop and listen to a story.
Sure.
Straight up. It's part of we learned that, right? Hey, you say how you doing today, to keep it very focused, right? That's a good question to ask me. Hey, how you doing today? Well, I'm blah blah blah, but let's stop and listen. You know what I mean? Put your stuff down.
Hold on, I didn't ask about yesterday.
Yeah. no, that's yesterday. Is that before midnight?
That's out of
How's
bounds.
this day going?
How's it been since you woke up? Yeah.
About 5 minutes. Can you take me just 5 minutes before you came to my counter? Can we do that?
So, anywho, yeah.
Performative kindness is not the same thing as actual kindness.
No, that's what I was doing at first. Performative kindness.
Performative kindness.
After I was told that no, I had to let her out.
Right.
And then I performed kindness, like hi, or just letting you know, and I just let her in there. That was rude of me. I kind of deserved what I got.
Yeah, but there's also this other aspect of that of if you do somebody a solid, then there's this expectation, and there shouldn't be because people are people and they're going to be people, right? But there is this expectation.
People out there doing people shit.
That if you do give them a hookup, and you're like, hey, I'm not really supposed to let you in here right now, that they're going to not be entitled about that, and they're just not going to take advantage of it. They're going to be in and out. Hey, in and out, dude. That's not how that goes, dude. That's not how that goes, man.
It's like the guy that goes in the bathroom in Clerks. The guy that's not really for yeah. Come on, man.
Can I get some of that
this magazine with me too, right?
The good toilet paper there? Yeah, that stuff. It's like, hurts my ass. Yeah, and we get one of those good magazines there. The ones behind the counter.
Pushy.
Yeah. Give me one of those. That was good shit. So, I've had a few meet me after schools. I've had a few. Let me put it this way: anybody who's ever beat me up, I've earned every single one.
Sure,
100%. And every hand that's been laid on me was earned. I had asked for it directly or pretty indirectly, pretty close to directly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like 100%, dude. So, it's hard to knock the universe way of balancing shit out. It's really hard to knock it, right? I understood every single one.
right?
Yeah. This one time, I was like in third grade or some shit. And I was walking down the street, and this older kid ran up behind me, and this kid lived down the street from us. And I don't understand what his whole big deal was, because we weren't friends, but we lived on the same street. We knew each other because we rode by on bikes or whatever, right? Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, one day he ran up behind me, and he was like, oh, piss, and he slapped me, like, bow. This kid was like 3 grades older, right? I'm like, whatever. And he's like, started yelling at me. He's like really mad, like right now. And he goes, the other day, your dog chased my little brother. I'm like,
fuck.
And I ran home.
Chew Bear?
Right. Yeah, it was Chew Bear. That's, yeah. And this was on Edith Street.
Fuck you, man.
This wasn't even on Virginia Street. This was on Edith Street.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was before you guys were even around.
Made me mad hearing that story.
Yeah. So I don't know why I deserved that one.
Yeah.
Maybe I got that one first and deserved it for something I did later.
For your dog, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, anyways. All right. Don, I'll let you in. Don is the owner of a single arm. How do you get a one-armed man, one-armed out of a tree? Donnie, how do you get a one-armed out of a tree?
Wave.
You both waved at the same time just now.
Did.
That's the joke, right?
That's the joke there. All right.
What happens to frogs when they park wrong?
What?
They get towed.
Stoops. I didn't even guess that one.
Yeah, joke.
Yeah, that was a great joke, man. Come on.
All right. So, beat a dead horse, but the whole idea was that the F around and find out, once it moved online, the kids' conflict resolutions changed drastically. And this is where, we see kids crashing out. This is where we see kids just yelling and screaming or doing whatever, or bullying people, whatever, and just getting clocked.
Sure.
And just getting dropped. Blink. Right?
Sure. Mm-hmm. But so you keep bringing it back to how internet changed. Internet right now is very different than internet when I was in high school.
True.
And so as a recovered addict myself, I always wonder about the frayed edges of their serotonin receptors because they're designed to be so addictive. The way video games are now, the way the algorithms are now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So they're constantly, it's just like, exactly
they're
right.
built to addict and agitate.
Yes. Right. And all of a 100%. Sudden when they're in the real world, they're without their fix, dude. It's just like when you see kids start smoking when he's 15 and you see the just sudden change.
You have to go on a trip and you can't bring your cigarettes.
Exactly right. And you see how irritable he is and suddenly he's impossible to can get along with when he was always sunshine before.
It's like, yeah.
The internet now is designed in a way that's very similar to those nicotine hits where you need them every so often, or all of a sudden you start getting frayed around the edges. So these little 15, 16-year-old kids, they're not just learning to shit talk online. They're strung out, dude. You know, and suddenly you're depriving them of that thing that keeps them calm. Just like that kid who started smoking, he was 15.
Right.
You know? So now they're in the real world. Now they don't have any coping mechanisms because their whole world has been online. And also you're causing them to go through tiny micro withdrawal,
Yeah.
you know, and crash, man.
Crash, burn, bang.
Crash
Dang.
out.
That's got to be part of it, right?
I think so.
It's got to be.
100%.
Well, that's how it works on the inside.
Right. You mean of their brains? Sure.
That's the mechanics of it all. That's the physiological mechanics.
Our grandpa Shockey, he had a great meet me after school moment, but it was with his teacher. I mean,
And his brother.
him and his friends.
And I thought it was him and Uncle Dave. They jumped the teacher.
Jumped the teacher, man. Got kicked out of school.
Well, but he broke Uncle Dave's arm or something, right?
No, he swatted a kid who was special needs. He kind of put the kid's head through the chalkboard, but the kid, from what I understand, was like special needs. Like he wasn't all there anyway. So Grandpa, I think maybe Uncle Dave, but for sure Grandpa and a group of kids that Grandpa went and gathered, went and saw to that teacher after school, man, and jumped him, man. Jumped him, beat the shit out of him, got himself kicked out of school. He started riding the rails after that.
The bully.
Yeah.
Started riding the rails after that.
Riding the rails, smoking cigarettes after that, dude. Yeah. 7 years old.
Riding the rails, smoking cigarettes, came out to the West Coast and built a
multi-million dollar
company. Yeah.
Owner of a corporation, man.
Yeah. Good for him.
Great American story right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hands.
Well,
yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Greg, thanks for jumping in. I know you're remote and all the fun shit. But love it, man.
Gregory Remote.
So
My
remote.
name is... Say again?
So remote.
Huh.
It
I
kind
heard
of is.
chickens
It's like
earlier.
yeah, there's a
birds.
chicken coop straight across over there from me.
Is that what it is?
This is, I think they say this is a golf course, but I have not seen any golfers. It's like 100 degrees out here during the day. So
Chickens. Fucking sissies.
it was like 85 at 6:30 this morning when I woke up.
nice.
So it's,
Yeah.
That's too hot at 6:30 in the morning, man.
yeah,
That's like
dude, that
irritating.
makes
Do you
for
have a pool?
Not here. No, they don't have anything like that. We just found the quickest thing we could find to get out of the, just to get up out of the valley for a couple of days and
Sure.
That's
get
cool.
away
Man.
from the same old routine. We're still working and stuff from here. We're doing
Yeah.
it from a different place, a little different
Got it.
view.
Yay.
Get everybody out of town for a minute.
Good job.
Isn't there a Calvin and Hobbes strip where Mo tells Calvin to meet him after school? I think it's like a 3-page storyline.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would have been a good one for you to.
Oh, shit. There is.
Yeah, and I'm just a dead man now, and Calvin has to deal with the whole.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that. I'll find that. I'll find that.
That's the thing.
I'll
you
share
should've
that.
Pulled up, man.
I didn't even think about
Mo
that.
lets him know. You know.
Yeah. Yep. 3:00 in the whole grief.
I can't remember what it was about, but yeah, because Mo was his bully, anyways. I don't know why he'd have to pick a time, but he did. Anyways,
And, yeah. I'll pull that up.
yeah, you should.
Shit. That's going to do it for us. My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Austin.
Peace out, everybody. Sorry, Facebook. Peace out, everybody. Late. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Cindy.